I'm Al Reese.
I'm Anna Safford.
And this is ModPoMinute, actually 5 minutes.
We're hoping to scratch the surface of a short poem that we like.
So let's get started.
So we're here in the Writer's House kitchen with one of my very favorite people, Lily Applebaum.
Hello.
Hi. So we're going to talk about this great Bernadette Mayer poem called After Catullus and Horace. Lily, would you like to read it?
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
After Catullus and Horace. Only the manners of centuries ago can teach me how to address you, my lover, as who you are. O Cestius, how could you put up with my children, thinking all the while you were bearing me as in your mirror? It doesn't matter anymore if spring wreaks its fiery or lamb-like dawn on my newfound asceticism. Some joke I wouldn't sleep with you or any man if you paid me, and most of you poets don't have the cash anyway, so please rejoin your fraternal books forever, while you miss in your securest sleep Ms. Rosy-Fingered Dawn, who might have induced to digitalize a part of you were it not for your self-induced revenge of undoneness. It's good to live without a refrigerator. Why bother to chill the handiwork of Ceres and of Demeter, and of the lonesome Sappho? Let's have it warm for now.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Such a good poem.
It's good. You really can hear how there's almost no punctuation in the first half of the poem when you read it out loud.
It is, yeah. That's a very long opening sentence. Goes across a lot of lines. So my first question about this is, I think this poem bears a lot of the kind of hallmarks of some really classic Bernadette Mayer poems that we can find in this amazing collection, Bernadette Mayer Reader. That's where it's from. And some of those, I think, we can maybe just make a quick list, right? This sort of emotional honesty of like, I wouldn't sleep with you or any man if you paid me. You know, this sort of like deeply honest, raw. And then the kind of mix of the sort of like the high and the low, the slightly sort of elevated poetic diction, the kind of more complicated sentence structure in with the, once again, most of you poets don't have the cash anyway. Right?
And just the love of the classics, like Catullus, Horace, Sappho.
Awesome. Yeah. So my question is, do you think you need to know those references to like get this poem?
I think that the gender of the references is important.
Yeah.
I think it's important to know that Ceres, Demeter, and Sappho are women, and Catullus, Horace, and Cestius are men.
Yeah.
Not like objectively important, but important to the text. I think she's drawing a very explicit gendered comparison between man poets and women poets.
Yeah.
Especially, I wouldn't sleep with you or any man if you paid me.
Right.
And most of you poets don't have the cash anyway, so it's you may not need to be familiar with the actual text and the work of Catullus and Horace and Sappho, but I think it's at least important to know that they are figures of note and that some are men and some are women.
Totally, yeah. And especially in that line, so please rejoin your fraternal books forever.
Yeah.
While you miss in your secure sleep, Miss Rosy-Fingered Dawn. There's a couple really fascinating things happening there.
Yeah.
What do you think she's saying with the rejoin your fraternal books forever?
I think to me, the rejoin is connected with the after in the title, After Catullus and Horace, because like usually in a poem, the title after would mean inspired by or
sort of almost an address to sometimes.
Yeah, maybe an address or like joining with in the canon. Yeah. But I think she's meaning literally we're done with Catullus and Horace, like after them. So the rejoin your fraternal books is, I think, addressed to the male poets.
Yeah.
But it's also saying like maybe if there's the fraternal and fraternity meaning like this sort of boys club of poets and poetry, like just take that all and go away and leave me with Ceres and Demeter and Sappho in this warm kitchen or whatever, you know, wherever the location of the poem is.
I love that. That's such a great reading of after.
Yeah.
Like this idea of kind of shelving it. Rejoin your books. Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Like, we're done. With being inspired by, well, but I wouldn't say, like, I think she expresses, like, a affinity to the classics. So
Certainly.
I don't think she's saying there's nothing of use here from Catullus, Horace, etc. But like we're ready to move to a different source of inspiration.
Yeah, especially given that Catullus famously was a poet who wrote in a very sort of ranging from the obscene to the emotionally honest to the his poetic style indeed is very much one of that I think Bernadette would have found a lot of affinity with.
Right. Yeah, I think like back to your question about knowing the references, like I think it would be a mistake maybe to read her as saying that Catullus or Horace are like stuffy, because like you're saying, Catullus is full of all of this like very racy but also very misogynistic content. So she's not making the same statement as if she were to pick a more boring and conventional writer. So it's kind of a more complicated saying than just like boys are bad and girls are good.
Right, of course. But at the very least, she can participate and she can be just as honest, raw, obscene, racy, all of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't sleep with you or any man if you paid me.
Thank you so much, Lou. This is great.
Yeah, this was fun.
If you liked this episode, watch another and subscribe.
And join us for ModPo, a free and open course at modpo.org.